What's up, YouTube? It's been a long time since I talked about anything related to wrestling, or a relatively long time, I suppose. But now we're talking about predictions for Clash of Champions. And I was thinking about doing predictions and results again, but that would be too much in one video. You'll see why later in the video. I'll put a timestamp for when I talk about the other thing I want to talk about, but let's talk about Clash of Champions. So I don't like having championship matches on the pre-show, but it seems like that's what they're going to be doing. Whatever. Non-title matches first. Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan. I believe it's no disqualification for a reason, by the way. And I think someone might interfere and have Eric Rowan defeat Roman Reigns. Like, that's what I'm thinking in my head. But at the same time, it's like, it's Roman Reigns. I don't really see him losing, you know what I mean? But I think for the sake of this feud, for what it's building to, if they're going to continue it, I would say he'd probably have to lose. So this is going to be one of the ones that I probably get wrong like I usually do. I'm going to go with Rowan on this one. Eric Rowan. Just to see what happens. Maybe Daniel Bryan will interfere, maybe he won't, but we'll see. Not really much to talk about there. That whole thing is just weird. I thought it was going to end up being Luke Harper, which would have been dope. But like he dyed his beard red because he and Eric Rowan don't get along. So it would like distract from it being him, and then maybe he shows up and works with Eric and they become a tag team again. I don't know what's going to happen with them. They break up and they become a tag team, and they split up and then become a tag team. It's just weird. Harper and Rowan, that is. Whatever. The King of the Ring match with Chad Gable versus Baron Corbin. Part of me is like, Baron Corbin being the king would work for him, and he needs something to do anyway. And I mean, if anyone could do it, it'd probably be him. But Chad Gable definitely needs something to do. And if he doesn't win this one, it's like, where does he go? Does he face Shinsuke for the Intercontinental Championship next? Maybe. I don't know. I think that'll really put Baron over as a heel if he beats Chad. Even though I want Chad to win this matchup. Like, that's who I want to win, but I gotta say Baron Corbin's probably gonna win this one. He probably is. I mean, if we're just being real. And then people will just hate him for it. And then Chad will be like super over. And then he'll probably go after Shinsuke, I guess. Or maybe Shinsuke and Sami Zayn will have a match eventually. Man, this is tough. Because, like, what do they do with Chad if he doesn't win? You know what? I'm going to go with Chad Gable. I'm changing it. I'm going with Chad Gable. Alright. I believe there's one more non-title match. I think Lacey Evans and Natalya might be happening. I'm going to go with Lacey on that one. Moving on. Now we can talk about the championship matches. So first off, the Raw Tag Team Championships, which will probably open the show, which makes sense. Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman working together, taking on Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, and they're calling them Rudolph on the internet. So I think they might win, because it's like if Strowman and Seth win, then what? You know, actually. They could still win and then lose the tag championships to the OC in a rematch on Raw, perhaps. Or some sort of tournament leading to like a number one contendership or something like that. Hell in the Cell is coming up though, so they gotta lose the belts, I think, at some point, right? I don't know how this is gonna go. This is a little bit difficult to predict, but I don't see Dolph or Robert Roode defeating Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins unless Strowman like lays out. Wait a minute, I got it. To build drama for later on. I think Rollins is going to accidentally hit Strowman with like a super kick or something, and Strowman's going to hit him with a power slam. And then Dolph or Robert Roode will crawl onto him for the pin, and then that's how that'll happen. I think that's what's going to happen. There you go. And then they'll build for later on when they face each other. And like all throughout the night, you'll like get Strowman's reaction, you'll get Seth's reaction, and then you'll get the blow off at the end of the show, adding a bit more build to the feud. I think that'll be pretty dope if that happens. We'll see. We'll certainly see. I guess we can move on to... Oh, the 24/7 Championship is going to be on the line, but I don't know what's going to happen with that. Of course, it's going to be on the line. It's always on the line. I don't know how that's going to go. I'm going to predict that, I guess, Drake Maverick will be the champion by the end of the night. That's what I'm going to predict. Anyways... What's the next match we can talk about? The Cruiserweight Championship match with Drew Gulak, Lince Dorado, and Humberto Carrillo. I hope I said his name right. I think that's going to be Drew right there. I think Lince and Korea are going to continue to have a feud, and Drew's going to win here and then maybe face someone else afterwards. Who's he going to face next? Maybe Kushida? That would be pretty cool. I don't know. But right now I'm just going to go with Drew retaining. The SmackDown Live Women's Championship with Bayley and Charlotte Flair. That should be pretty fun if you ask me. I got to go with Bayley winning here. She just turned heel. Why would she lose championship now? I know they're in Charlotte, but that just adds more heat for Bayley when she wins, so I think it works. I think Bayley will end up beating Charlotte here. Maybe with the help of Sasha, maybe not, but I'm going to go with Bayley for now. United States Championship match with AJ Styles and Cedric Alexander. I guess I got to go with AJ. I don't know. Like, not a lot of titles can be retained here, so I'm assuming this is one of the ones that isn't going to change to kind of build more on this with Cedric and AJ. And maybe at the end, Cedric will join the OC, which would be really cool if they do that. I don't think he will. I think it'll be, I think it'll just be AJ winning with the club's interference, and just simple as that. And then maybe someone will come in and then they'll have like their own guys to back them up, and then they'll help take the title from AJ basically, for whoever ends up taking it from him. Intercontinental Championship match, yeah. The Miz on his way to becoming a 9-time Intercontinental Champion against Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke, he's been champion for a minute, but I still don't think he should lose because he just started this thing with Sami Zayn, and then for him to just lose title out of nowhere, it's just like, come on, dude. Like, it's just, I don't know. I could see Miz getting super close to winning it, and then Zayn interferes, and then he gets drilled with the Kinshasa, and that's how it ends. You know, that X Factor of Sami Zayn being there, and then Shinsuke keeps the title. That's what I'm going to go with. What's next? What is next? I guess we can talk about the Women's Tag Team Championships. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I like this team going against Fire and Desire. As much as I want them to retain, I think Fire and Desire are going to win just to have another title change, and maybe the Kabuki Warriors, once Paige is all healed up, they'll come back and then they'll take on Fire and Desire in a feud that's kind of writes itself because Paige used to be the manager of them. So, of Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. So there you go. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with Nikki Cross and Alexa after that, though. That's the weird thing. Are they just going to start feuding then, and then one of them's going to split off and go for the title? Or is Bliss going to try to help Nikki go for a singles championship? I don't know where that's going to go. They seem to be really good friends, though, so I doubt Alexa's going to turn on her just yet. So I got to go with Fire and Desire, even though I don't want them to win it. That's how it be sometimes. What's next? The SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The New Day versus The Bar. I guess, not The Bar, what? The Revival. I'm going to go with The Revival. I think Randy Orton will either help them or they'll just straight up win because Big E and Xavier are injured. So then Shatter Machine, boom, new champions. And then Orton versus Kofi Kingston probably will follow right after that or later on in the night. And I guess I got to assume that Kofi is he's going to lose. Even though I don't want it to, I think he's going to lose here to Randy Orton, and then they'll go inside Hell in a Cell, and then Kofi will win it back to end their feud, which I think makes sense. I don't want to see this be, oh, Orton lost, and then he gets another shot. What was the point of him losing then? That just would be just really stupid in my opinion. So I'm going to have to go, and pun intended by the way, I'm going to have to go with Randy Orton winning the championship. The Raw Women's Championship, I guess this is where Sasha takes the belt from Becky. And then Becky's not going to win it back either. I think Sasha's going to hold on to that title probably until after Survivor Series, or maybe she'll lose it at the Royal Rumble, but I don't even know who's going to beat her. Will it be a face Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks in the future? That would be pretty cool in my opinion. Because seems like it's always Alexa, who just shows up when you least expect and takes the title. Anyways, I don't know. Right now, though, I'm going to have to say Sasha's going to win it here. She has to. She literally just came back. You're just going to have her lose to Becky? Even though Becky's really cool, and I like seeing her as champion, I just don't see her losing. Oh, no. I don't see her retaining here against Sasha. Now we talk about the main event with Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins. Probably should have done this one before all the other ones, because I think this one's the easiest to predict. Here's why. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, he needs to look good, all right, with whoever he's facing. And even though Braun Strowman keeps going for the Universal Championship and keeps losing, I don't see the Fiend looking good against Braun Strowman. Because it's Braun Strowman. What's he going to do? Oh, psychological warfare. It's like the match isn't going to be that good if they go for that. I just don't see it being good. And it could surprise me and do it, and it could actually be good. But I don't think WWE has that much faith in Braun Strowman to do that, to risk that damaging the Fiend, you know? They're going to pick Seth Rollins. They're going to pick their workhorse. They're going to pick the guy who, whenever he faces someone, the match is 9 times out of 10 pretty good. So I think it'll be Seth, and then Seth will lose to Bray at Hell in a Cell. That's just, it has to be that. If anything, that's what it has to be. So now that we got all the predictions out of the way, I guess now we can talk about what I want to talk about. I've been wanting to do some WWE content, but I don't know what to do right now. I guess I could do mini-sodes for FWF, but like at the same time I want to save that for WWE2K20. I think I should do that, because then I have to make the transition. I'm going to save it. I'm sorry. I know. Make FWF. Where's the videos? Hurry up, CJ. Blah, blah, blah. It's just give me time, please. Because I want this. This is the redemption, by the way. I don't want to freaking start this series out of nowhere because people are asking me to, and then it's not good. I don't want to do that. I want to change things up. Some people who don't normally win, you know, stepping out. Everybody's got their own little storyline going. Not literally everybody. I think the roster is going to be 60 people, which I know that's a lot of people, yes, but I think I can do something with that, believe it or not. So that's what I'm going to stick with, 60 people. There's going to be 5 different groups, kind of like in Stardom, and each of the groups will have 10 people, and then there will be 10 people who aren't in any groups at all, and they'll be kind of like free agents, basically. So they can potentially join groups, and you can have people fighting over them or whatever. And there's also going to be unique championships, I think would be cool. Like, we're still going to have the FWF championship. We have to have that. There's not going to be any weight class championships. There's going to be a women's championship. There's going to be tag team championships. I'm thinking about doing a women's television championship, which will be defended on every episode, because I know people like to see the women compete. That's what draws in the views. I'm sorry. Let's just be honest here. That's what draws in the views, man. I'm thinking about having a hardcore championship, which would be the Warfare Championship, but it won't be defended 24/7. It'll just have like its own stipulations, basically, for every match. That'll be the match that always has stipulation. No gimmick pay-per-views, because I feel like in doing that, that's just kind of weird. Like, there will be a gimmick match that happens at a certain pay-per-view. There won't be a pay-per-view designed around specific match types. That way it allows me to have a bit more freedom, and it's, you know, fun. The pay-per-view names will probably be different. I think Final Fantasy has to still happen. I don't think I can get rid of that one. Everything else I could probably change. But I don't think I'll do any Royal Rumble matches. I kind of want to try it, but it could be really annoying to do. And you're probably like, you don't want to do it because you're not going to win the match. Yeah, that's why. Like, if I have a feud that I'm doing and I can't get the person to freaking like have a good Royal Rumble showing or whatever, then it's going to be weird, you know what I mean? And it's not like I can just, send someone on the outside and hide underneath the ring and kind of have fun with it. There's not a lot of freedom with that match type. The best I can do at a Royal Rumble is to have it be like a show opener, and maybe like, who's going to challenge for the TV title later tonight, and then I can just have anybody win that matchup, and then depending on who wins, we'll decide who actually wins the championship and who doesn't. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. What is wrong with me? I keep being like, you know what? I don't know if that's a good idea. And then out of nowhere, as I'm talking about it being a bad idea, I come up with a good idea. I don't know why I do that. That's weird. It's just very spontaneous sometimes. Maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe it's a good idea. I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be women's tag titles. I kind of want to do that, but I don't at the same time. Here's why I don't want to do it. Because I don't want there to be too many championships. Let's see what we got here. We got a world championship. We got the tag titles for the men, women's television title, women's championship, hardcore title. That's 5. And then I guess we can have 6. I think 6 is a good round number. The perfect amount is 4. That's the perfect amount for a wrestling show. But I want to have fun with this, so I think I'm gonna have 6. And I guess the 6th one will be the Women's Tag Team Championships. So that's what I got right now. I was thinking about doing a big boy championship where just a bunch of hosts just beat the crap out of each other and go for the big boy title or whatever, but I'm not gonna do that. The group names and all that, we'll talk about those at a later date. Another thing that I want to do before this video ends, I kind of want to do another series kind of like Enemy's WWE Adventure, but it's based around BCW with Jen, who is the manager in this matchup, and it's going to be her redemption. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. You know what? Fuck it, I'll do it. I don't know when it's going to start though, but I'll start it soon enough. I'll have that and Fallout happening at the same time. It'll be fun, trust me. So anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later.